15 scenes, a host of new wildlife, and are Michael and Trevor hiding in the trailer? I'm James from GamesRadar, and I'm joined by Ian Wilson for our Red Dead 2 trailer analysis. Hello, Ian.
Hello.
Hello. So, this is the first scene we're looking at here. It's hills, there's grass, there's some nice lighting effects here. The important thing to mention here is all of this footage is captured on PS4.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
So we think that this is probably going to be on a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, like all the kind of lighting coming off the sunset in the background is just, there's a lot of effects and stuff going on there.
Yeah, this screams of the new HDR, which is high dynamic range tech that the PS4 Pro is going to bring to games in the future. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, or not interestingly for most people, This will not be released on PS3 or 360.
Yeah.
Or PC currently.
Yeah, that's interesting considering the uproar with the last Red Dead never making its way onto PC either. So, yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But let's move on to the second scene in the trailer, and it's this one of a lovely scene in the valley with some nice wildlife there. Are those deer, stags?
Yeah, it looks like it. They're obviously roaming around there, sort of suggesting there's going to be a hunting element again. We had that in GTA 5, and obviously the previous Red Dead Redemption was a lot of hunting and skinning out in the wild. So probably a bit more of that. We've got some nice reflections on the lake in the background as well.
Yeah, and that mountain range on the right-hand side there, I wouldn't be surprised that you can definitely go up there.
Yeah, go for a little roam up the mountains. Probably some sort of bears are going to be hiding up there. So.
Pretty much everything you can see in this trailer, I think you can go there. It's going to be one of the giant open worlds. Nothing's going to be off limits. This is it's very exciting. So let's move on to the next scene. And we're on a ranch now, and you can see the small details here we can pick up on. There's not one, but two little rats or mice just in the grassland.
Yeah, I was impressed. You mentioned this to me, and it took me a few watch backs over this little bit before I actually spotted them in sort of the bottom left corner, scurrying around in the grass there. But yeah, nice little details.
Yeah, and the sounds in this as well start to come into play. You can hear the cows in the background mooing away. And there's some old machinery on the left that is all battered and broken, which suggests maybe that is going out of fashion right now. Yeah. People are looking for new ways to make money. Moving on, and we're into the forests. Now, is this a beaver that we can see?
Could be. I'm not sure whether maybe someone who knows a bit more about nature might be able to pick us up on that one. But yeah, it could be maybe it's like a little mongoose or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it definitely goes and catches a bird, though, which suggests that animals are going to play quite a big part in Red Dead Redemption 2. They're obviously going to have a food chain, so the bigger animals will hunt the smaller animals.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be some foxes and wolves and things out there that will attack some cattle and horses.
Yeah.
It might be that you have to defend your horse from animal attacks at night. That could be a thing, but definitely there's a lot of food chain stuff going to be going on.
There's some quite nice sort of lighting effects there coming through the trees as well. Again, whether that's going to be sort of based on or at least enhanced by the HDR stuff.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Let's move on to this next scene, and this is a valley at night. Now, I think this could be the same valley that we've seen a couple of scenes ago in scene 2, just probably positioned to the top sort of right-hand side.
Yeah, the mountain range on the right-hand side does look very familiar from that scene. So, it's quite possible this is obviously a quite a lot more zoomed out and higher up view, but looking down the same valley.
Yeah, just pulled back. We do know that Rockstar like using the same locations in trailers just so they don't give so much away.
Yeah.
And from the leaked map, that if that is to be believed as a real thing, this could be the little creek in Big Valley that is suggested on that map.
Could be.
But we're not sure. I also think it looks a little bit like Zancudo from GTA 5.
Wow.
Obviously, centuries earlier.
Okay.
But imagine that. Imagine if we were playing new Red Dead in an old GTA world.
Interesting.
That wouldn't really tie into the fact that this is a sequel to the other one that definitely wasn't set there. But it's an interesting. It's a theory that I've had. Let's move along now to this scene, and there's obviously someone has set up camp.
Yeah.
But the amazing things to look at here is just like the fire And that sky.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, obviously you've got the fire burning away. You've got all the lighting effects sort of on the underside of the trees where it's going up there, and yeah, that night sky with all the stars is just incredible to look at.
Yeah, and looks like you're obviously going to be camping out in the wildlife, not just at your ranch.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility also of putting in some more role-playing elements, maybe hunger and warmth factors
Could be.
come into play. Like we've got games that do that now, like Don't Starve. The new Tomb Raider does that kind of thing, where you have to manage your resources and make sure you've got enough to survive the night.
Yeah.
That could be an interesting thing that they put in this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the Red Dead Redemption, you could camp out sort of on the plains. I think, if I remember rightly, you had to have a certain amount of wood with you, possibly to build your fire. But I'm pretty sure with that one, you built your fire, and then time passed, and then you woke up again, and you didn't really actually have much time sat around a fire doing stuff. But who knows? Maybe there'll be like some more elements to it in the new one, where you do actually have to do stuff while you're sat around the fire.
Now, this next scene is amazing. Like, it looks brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a guy walking to his ranch. He's got a deer on his horse's back, and the little details, there's some birds on the fence that you can see. Now, obviously, this ranch is set in quite a big open space, which leads me to the speculation of maybe there's a possibility of like upgrading your ranch as you go through the game.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty small, modest building that's going on in the background there at the moment. It's not a lot to look at, but yeah, maybe it's something that can get built up.
On to the next scene, and we've got a canoe, which could be another form of transport.
Yeah.
Possibly will play into the same way that taxis do in GTA. Like maybe you can pay someone to take you across certain...
Yeah, maybe a river crossing to save you going all the way down to the next bridge.
Could you steal it, do you think? Could you be an outlaw and, you know, start robbing people of their canoes?
Wow, okay.
Throwing them across the lakes?
Maybe.
That's a possibility. Or a little detail here, there's a dream catcher hanging in the tree there on the top left.
Yeah, almost sort of hidden in the branches there, but it's when you actually spot it, it's pretty obvious. So.
Now that's implied sort of like native Indians and that kind of thing had a lot of dream catchers in trees, maybe in that part of the world in this scene. And also there's leaves falling off the tree. Are we going to get seasonal changes throughout the game? You know, summer, winter, spring.
Yeah.
It'd certainly be interesting to have that and have the whole world covered in snow at certain times, and then it get hot again, and having to manage that.
Well, yeah, definitely. If you did end up with snow on the ground, that would also have a knock on with your outdoor camping, and fire building would be a lot more important for that.
The next scene now, we're on the train.
Yeah.
Now this scene is obviously one of the most iconic ones from the trailer, probably because it reminds us so much of the first game with the steam trains and the buffalo and things. But there's a lot actually going on here. The second carriage has got a guy standing on it.
Yeah.
You can see him. Maybe he's catching a ride. It's another form of transportation you can definitely do. And the buffalo in this game...
There's loads of them, for a start.
There are loads of them. And the interesting thing is, in the original Red Dead Redemption... the buffalo were like almost extinct.
Yeah, that was kind of part of the storyline that they were dying out. And, there was actually, if I remember rightly, the trophy or an achievement in the first game for going out to the plains and literally wiping out every single buffalo that was left. So
exactly. Now that leads us to believe that this then is going to be set before that game.
Yeah,
because there's lots of buffalo around.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So could it be a prequel? Possibly, but later on I think we see some oil rigs and things in the background, which didn't start really being around till the end of Red Dead 1. So, I mean, this could just be a few buffalo from somewhere else.
Exactly, yeah, maybe it's just a group of them put together.
Yeah, so we're not quite sure. If it is a prequel, I mean, maybe it's a few months, possibly a year before the original.
It couldn't really be a long time before, could it?
And now on to the shop. You can see in this shop scene that a lot of water's being kicked up by the wheels of the car as it goes past in the foreground. There's a man on the right hand side there carrying a block of wood. Could some construction be taking place like what we all wanted in GTA 5, building the Mile High Club?
Yeah, it's still not finished.
No, it's not. But maybe in Red Dead they do build more bits of the town as you revisit it and want to stay there.
Sure.
The general store is J Worth. I'm not quite sure what the J stands for. Someone's name, obviously, but I don't know who. They sell tobacco and soap, fruit, whiskey, clothes, meats, tonics, drugs, and also pumpkins. But the main thing to point out in this scene is that there could be some electric lights there in the top right-hand side.
Yes, it definitely looks like it hanging off that pole.
Now, 1880, I think, there was a city called Wabash, I think it's probably pronounced like that, or Wabash, which was the first electrically lighted city in the world. So maybe, if that's where we're getting these electric lights from, that's sort of the time period we could be seeing this game set in.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be before that time. So.
And now this is where there is some people suggesting that in the cart, the two people in the cart look quite a lot like Michael and Trevor, but just in an old schooly way.
I mean, that people have said that. Like we've had a fairly close look at them. It's a tricky one. I mean, like I guess you could maybe see it to a point. And certainly I'm assuming it's the guy facing backwards is Michael, and he is wearing a blue suit, which is is similar in colour at least to the blue suit that Michael does wear a lot in GTA 5. Could the other one be Trevor? We can sort of see a bit of his face as it goes past, but yeah, it's.
I mean, if it's in there, it's definitely just an Easter egg.
Definitely.
They're not going to be in the game in any capacity.
That would be That'd be crazy.
But it might be a nice little Easter egg that Rockstar have thrown in there.
Yeah.
On to the next scene, and we see what we can assume is the protagonist getting onto his horse. The cows outside have little bells on. You can see all the dust in the air. Like, this is another great scene to show off the lighting effects and the new things that what we assume is the PS4 Pro can bring. And there's an old barn in the background which maybe suggests, it's falling down, or you have to fix it, or there's some, like we tried to speculate on earlier, some kind of building mechanic in there where you can fix some of your old stuff.
Yeah.
We're back in the city for the next scene when these vultures are attacking this poor dog.
Yeah, it's a bit hard. I mean, is that a dog or a wolf? Do we think maybe it's got quite like a long face? So, and the guy sat behind with his gun, like potentially maybe he's just shot it. He's kind of sat there. He's sat there looking quite pleased with himself. So that would make more sense if it was maybe a wolf coming into the town and he was getting rid of it, or he could have just shot a dog. Maybe he hates dogs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, cowboys just shoot what they want sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
You never know.
Although the other dog has been spared, if that is the case.
Yeah. It doesn't hate all dogs.
No, just that one dog. Yeah.
Well, maybe he did something bad. It came up and peed on him or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? The interesting thing about this town is that a lot of these buildings are made out of bricks.
Yes.
Rather than wood, like we used to. So it probably says that it's a more established town. Like, this is somewhere where a lot of people are going to be living. A lot of trade is probably going to be going on here. This is one of the probably hubs that you'll be coming back to.
Yeah, and as you can see, like a couple more electric lights in the background there as well to tie in with the earlier stuff.
Yeah, which maybe means that this is the same place of where that shop is.
Yeah.
Next scene, and things are on fire.
More fire.
You can see there's some chimneys smoking in the background.
Yeah.
And this is where the voiceover line comes in, which is, when the time comes, you're going to run and don't look back, which is possibly a suggestion that it's some advice to a younger cowboy.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Or somebody who's just joined a gang or something like that, and they're saying, things are going to go down.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get out of here. The next scene is a close-up, I think, of the scene we've just seen. Once he gets there, you can see some burning grass. This is like almost shot for shot the same thing as a shot in the film called There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, sure.
You can definitely go check that out, but it's very reminiscent of that. And we're assuming this guy is the protagonist.
Yeah, it feels like it should be. And obviously you've got more like fire effects going on there. The embers floating around the character in the air as well. So
and he's wearing the same hat.
Exactly, yeah.
So, if anything, you can identify anyone in Westerns, it's by their hats.
By the hat.
And this guy is the same hat.
That's it. I mean, the fact that obviously the camera pans round, but the face has been deliberately hidden. So, that would suggest it's someone they're trying to keep secret for now.
And speaking of faces being hidden, in this next shot, we see 7 horses here. 6 horses running towards the camera. All of the people on horseback here have their faces covered.
Yeah.
But these aren't the same riders from the artwork that we saw Rockstar revealed a few days ago. So does this mean... I mean, this could just be a different posse of people.
Could be.
Does it mean we get to choose our posse? There's also the suggestion that this could be from a shot from GTA Online, from Red Dead Redemption Online.
Yeah.
And you getting to build up your crew and go around the West.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if Rockstar put a little sneaky clip of what they think multiplayer's going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get your posse together and go riding off there.
And also the one on the right could be a female character.
Yeah, the one in the yellow shirt. Yeah, definitely looks like it could be a female character in there, which again would lean towards potentially being one of the Red Dead Redemption Online players.
A couple of shout outs to the weapons as well. On the guy on the left, we can see it's dual wielding pistols here on the horseback. There's another guy with a Henry repeater, and I think the one on the far right is got a sawn off shotgun as well.
Yeah.
So there's obviously going to be a wide variety of weapons in the game that you'll be able to pick up and buy. As it pans back for the last scene, this looks a bit more like the central western plain along the border of the Rockies, I think. Hopefully we'll get more details on that when we see more of the map. And that's basically the end of the trailer. Now, the PlayStation blog has been updated to say that this will obviously provide the foundation of a brand new multiplayer experience, which is what maybe we're looking at here. Mm-hmm. And that if you're playing on PS4, you get first access to earn select online content in the vast open world of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, okay.
Now, what that means, we're not sure, but earning content, I assume, means like hats and outfits. And
it might be that there's like a certain exclusivity period on PS4, like access to the online world to get like outfits and maybe weapons and horses. Like, could be anything that you can unlock in there. Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. There's obviously loads of questions that haven't been answered by this trailer. Who's the voice?
Yeah.
Is it Dutch? Some people saying yes, some people saying no. Is the leaked map real? Possibly. We still don't really know a time and a place, a setting, or we haven't really seen the main protagonist, like his face or up close, or who he's going to be, and if John Marston's going to be in it. I mean, we think he is.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we're definitely talking either like a prequel or quite a similar timeline for it, then I would be very surprised if he didn't make an appearance in there somewhere, even if it was just like as a side character in a mission or someone you meet out and about. Obviously, we know Rockstar are quite keen on their strangers and freaks side missions that have been in Red Dead and in GTA. So, yeah, at the very least, I'd think you'd go off and meet him at some point.
All right, well, that is our trailer analysis here on GamesRadar. Obviously, you've got time now to go and look at it again. So if you've seen anything else or think we've missed anything, let us know in the comments below. Keep in touch with us on Twitter at RedDead2o'clock and at GamesRadar. And we'll be back with more Red Dead news very soon.